solid week of practice so far. We've really challenged our team to raise their level in all areas. And I think our guys responded. You know, it's getting down to the end of the season. The games are very important, and our leadership is really, you know, showing up, stepping up. That's a very good feeling as a coach.
Questions?
Gus, talk about what you'd like to see, improvements from last week to this week.
Well, I mean, we all three phases. I mean, just everything at every position. It's just that time of year to improve, raise our level, and you know, execute and get better. And that's been our message this week. And you know, in practice, I really feel like our guys have responded to that.
Guess Holsey, will he be back in lineup or at least in the playing rotation Saturday?
It is possible. I mean, he's had a solid week of practice, so you know, we'll see once we get out there.
Is Rock able to practice?
Yes, yeah, he's practiced every day. You know, and he will play.
How about Forrest Gill?
Yeah, Forrest is a little bit different. Mike Powell will probably end up doing a lot of that duty. Is a possibility, but we have a lot of confidence in Ike, and he did a super job, you know, to finish that game.
He was a late addition to the class, Gus, and obviously a preferred walk-on. Just what is it when you're expecting here is week 9 and you have a true freshman walk-on in a pretty critical spot in special teams? Just how much did you do to prepare him over the course of
you know, he's got a lot of reps. You know, he got all the 2 reps. Has practiced extremely well. You know, we've really been challenging our players that, hey, you never know when you're called upon. And he's a great example that when the pressure was the highest, he went in there, he performed like a champ, really helped our team. And like I said, was a great example for somebody when we challenge our guys to always be ready. And he definitely answered the bell.
Do you guys feel like you made some strides on kick return last week?
It's kind of been hit and miss. I mean, we had a decent return. We had a penalty. So you know, that's an area we need to improve on.
How do you work on penalties and practices? Some type of punishment you go through early in the week to get it in the guys' heads?
Yeah, I mean, it's all of the above. I mean, you know, there's undisciplined penalties, there's effort penalties, but the bottom line is we had too many. And you know, as a head coach, I'm the one responsible for that, and I've got to figure out a way to correct it, and we will correct it.
More on Nick, you mentioned that you think he should be up for the Heisman. What is your kind of philosophy on maybe getting a player more noticed on the national scene?
The way it works, if you win and you play well, you get more noticed. But you know, he's just he's a winner. He performs at his best when the pressure's the highest, and he's probably, compared to all these other guys, he's probably had a little bit more big game, you know, experience as far as the number of big games. I don't know if there's another guy out there that has his resume as far as that goes.
Have you ever had a guy who, like him, that just seems to, that the moment doesn't ever seem to bother him?
You know, I've been blessed to coach some pretty good guys that had that characteristic, but Nick is a guy that the moment's never been too big for him, and he's had numerous moments. And you know, from a quarterback standpoint, I don't know if I've ever had a quarterback that had that many different pressure moments, and he's responded like a champ in all of them. When
you thought Ole Miss, it looked like Ole Miss might have scored Saturday,
yeah.
Minute and a half left, I guess, all your timeouts left. Were you confident that he was going to go out there and take you back down the field?
We felt, you know, we had a plan. We did have 3 timeouts, a minute and a half, and Nick Marshall's our quarterback, so you know, we were confident that we could go down there, and you know, we were down by 3, so right. All we need is a field goal. But still, we had a good plan. We felt good about it. It's just a matter of us. We'd had to do it.
Yeah, Sean really struggled against Preston Smith against Mississippi State. When he's going up against a guy who statistically is doing as well as he is in Miles Garrett, are you going to be looking to use other guys basically as chip blockers and things to help?
No, you know, the thing about Sean, I mean, Sean's played well overall for us, and that was a game we got behind, and we threw it a little bit more than we normally would. And you know, they were in full pass mode, and so. You know, from a coach's standpoint, we just got to do a better job of helping him and the rest of our offensive line out. But we got a lot of confidence in Sean, and you know, he's got nothing but better as the season went on.
Gus, when you look at the defense, especially pass defense the last couple of weeks, what do you see as the problem?
Well, I mean, we gotta do a better job, you know, with our zones and our passing things off and everything that goes with that. You know, it all works together on defense, but that's an area we need to improve on. But our coaches understand that, our players understand that, and I'm confident we will.
That safety spot with Halsey and Moncrief, is that kind of just one of those up in the air towards the end of the week things, or?
Well, no, we've got confidence in everybody we put out there, and we think, you know, all those guys can get the job done. And, you know, Rudy Ford's first year that he's played, and he's you know, performed well. Moncrief, it's first year here, and he's gotten better as the season goes on. So we feel like we got, you know, 3 guys back there that can get the job done.
Gus, you said about Jermaine that the door may or may not be open for him to return to defense, and whether he does or doesn't, just when it's indefinite at the moment, why allow him back at all if he's not going to be allowed back on defense?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a personal decision, you know, the head coach makes, and that's a decision I made.
Because, you know, the time of year it is, you know, weather constantly changing. I said, no, and flu season kind of goes around. Is there, you know, how's the team dealing with that right now?
Well, talking about the weather?
Well, no, I'm just saying specifically, like this being flu season, I didn't know
Okay.
if anybody on the team is
Yeah, you know, it does go around, and when it does, you just got to separate your guys, you know, that are sick if they're running fever away from the guys so it doesn't, you know, it doesn't spread.
Hey, yeah, I got a question. As far as Jermaine Whitehead goes, obviously, Ellis has said experience is kind of an issue back there, and that's kind of been a problem for the inexperience in that safety spot. Is there any thought in your head at all of maybe moving up his timetable when he gets there?
Yeah, that's between me and him, so.
Guys, with it being November, I mean, is it pretty safe to say that you've given up on Carl being able to come back at any point this year?
You know, like I've said before, I mean, until he's 100% healthy, my number one concern is his long-term health. You know, he's a great player, he's got a great future, and that's really all there is to it right now.
All right, Coach. Thank you.